Capital One and the mystery of the foreign check, friend or foe. Ever received a check from abroad, a beacon of financial hope from a generous aunt in Australia or a long-lost business partner in Brazil? But then, as you clutch the unfamiliar paper, a nagging doubt creeps in. Will my bank even accept this? Can I turn this foreign windfall into sweet, sweet US dollars? Well, if that bank is Capital One, buckle up, because the answer is, it depends. And that's exactly what we're here to unpack today. Foreign checks can be a fantastic way to receive international payments, but the process can be trickier than your standard domestic check. There are fees, timelines, and a whole lot of behind-the-scenes banking magic happening to make it all work. So, let's dive into the world of foreign checks and see how Capital One handles them. First things first, can Capital One even accept a foreign check? Capital One actually does accept foreign checks, but there's a catch. They won't process them like a regular check. Instead, they treat them as collection items. In other words, they don't guarantee the funds immediately. Here's what that means. Capital One will essentially act as a middleman, sending the check to the issuing bank in the foreign country. That bank then needs to verify the check's legitimacy and transfer the funds to Capital One. This can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the issuing bank's processing speed and any potential hiccups along the way. Alright, so it's a waiting game. But are there any fees involved? Capital One itself doesn't charge a fee to receive a foreign check. However, the issuing bank overseas might. These fees can vary depending on the bank and the amount of the check, so it's always a good idea to check with the sender beforehand to avoid any surprises. Is there anything I can do to speed up the process? Unfortunately, not much on your end. Once Capital One sends the check for collection, the processing time is largely out of their hands. However, you can make things smoother by ensuring the check is filled out correctly. Here's a quick checklist. Make sure the check is in good condition, free of tears or water damage. Verify all the information is accurate, including the account number, routing number, and the amount, written both in numbers and spelled out. Ensure the check is signed by the issuer. By double-checking these details, you can minimize the chances of any delays due to errors. Alright, so I've deposited the check. How do I know when the funds are available? Capital One will typically notify you once the foreign check has cleared and the funds are deposited into your account. You can also check your account balance online or through their mobile app to track the progress. Here's a heads up, the exchange rate can be a bit of a gamble. Capital One will convert the foreign currency to US dollars at their current daily rate on the day the funds are received. This means the final amount you receive might fluctuate slightly depending on currency exchange rates. So, the verdict? Is a foreign check with Capital One a good idea? It depends on your situation. If you need the money quickly, a foreign check might not be the best option due to the long processing times. However, if you're not in a rush and you're comfortable with the potential wait, it can be a convenient way to receive international payments. Just remember, be prepared for a wait, factor in potential fees, and double-check all the details on the check before depositing it. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.